Hello, I am going to discuss with you about DevOps. You are here because you have heard about DevOps, but you may not fully aware of what does DevOps means and where I can use this concept. I got a chance to meet my old friend who is working in an IT operation. During our discussion, he mentioned that he is going to learn DevOps technology. After our discussion, I decided to take this video to give a high-level introduction to people who are working in the IT field but don't know the DevOps. After completion of this tutorial, you will get a good understanding of DevOps, and the concept that we are going to discuss in this video is more enough to get yourself accomplished the necessary level of knowledge in DevOps. Fine, let's divide this video into chapters and we'll discuss chapter-wise. In the first chapter, I am going to tell you the story about the project which executed without any proper process in place, and what caused the project deadline and how it is maintained in production. In the second chapter, I will explain to you about software methodologies and then we will see the introduction of DevOps. In the third chapter, we will discuss the culture of an organization that approaches to DevOps process. In the fourth chapter, DevOps transformation. Chapter 5, what are the steps required to practice the DevOps? Chapter 6, introduction to configuration management. Chapter 7, introduction to continuous integration, CI, process. Chapter 8, introduction to continuous testing. Chapter 9, introduction to continuous delivery, CD. Chapter 10, importance of monitoring and it is best practice, and then the last. Chapter 11, I resume the story that I paused in the first chapter.
The tallest building on Earth, the Burj Khalifa.
Just for your information, in the first chapter, I will tell you the story. In this story, I have taken the Burj Khalifa as an example. I used to read about the correctly structured building in this world, Burj Khalifa, the tallest building in the world. But the effort to build that tallest building was well planned and built very well, so I thought that Burj Khalifa would be the best example to explain the process of development and maintenance. Without more ado, first let's see what is process knowledge. Every resource in the organization is entitled to follow a certain process. But due to lack of time and knowledge, that process is not taken into consideration. We are aware that software development follows a life cycle. If there is a miss at any stage of this cycle, it messes up the complete delivery process. Say, for example, what if Burj Khalifa built without a proper process in place? In any typical software organization, there is a sales team, a business team, and the product team. The sales team always has a target to achieve. The business team manages the client to get more business. The product team designs the product to compete in the market, so all these teams want to agile their processes. We have architects who design the system, the development team which builds the product, and the testing team that checks the quality of the product. But all these teams follow a traditional waterfall model. Even though the waterfall model has processes in place, there is a lack of process knowledge and code integration within the different teams involved. Let's say the delivery team is not able to keep up with the project timeline. The business team continues putting stress on the process to deliver the product with even more changes. Due to this process conflicts, it is always like a tug-of-war between those teams. So what is the conflicts in the development? Suppose the sales team found a client whose request is to build the Burj Khalifa. Burj Khalifa is the tallest structure and building in the world with 168 floors. The business team brings this requirement to product teams. The product team finalizes the requirements and forwards it to the project manager. The project manager finally finds a time slot that works for all the stakeholders and books the meeting room. As usual, the business head wants the complete system by tomorrow, but the delivery head thinks about resource, cost, skill and time to estimate the project. After hours of discussion, both the teams agree to deliver the project on the requested timeline. but they only agreed to build 50 floors due to resource, time, cost and skill constraints. As per the agreed timeline, the development team completes the project development. But as per usual practice, the unit testing is performed only in the developer machine and the test cases developed by them are not shared, which results in integrated testing not being performed. Now our project is in QA phase. The testing team does a quality analysis of the product and discovers the no lift in Eiffel Tower issue. This kind of confusion arises due to a lack of collaborative development. After detailed explanations, the test team agrees to move the product into a UAT environment. We are into UAT phase. The UAT team does the user acceptance testing based on the business requirements and reports that this looks like pyramid. Since the delivery team does not have time to fix the reported issues, the project manager engages the client to do UAT. But as usual, the client gives sign-off for production without proper verification. In this whole process, the operation team was not involved in the development process, so there were lots of understanding-related questions raised instead of a healthy and productive discussion. Finally, the project is deployed in production and operations team is in a situation where they have to handle all the day-to-day issues. Let's see what happens next in production. Cool. Welcome to the production zone. The project has moved into production to meet the timeline. Now, any bugs found in production will go through a strict process. As expected, the client raises an issue with the production support team. It is straightforward that the delivered product is not Burj Khalifa, it is a hut. The ticket has gone through levels of analysis to segregate it into application issues, system issues, and functional issues. Let's see the resolutions for each issue. First, functional issue or understanding issue. Initially, when the business team explained to the client that first phase will have only 50 floors, they were not satisfied. Pressure from the client made them commit that there will be a manual workaround to fix this. System issue. The issue is then assigned to the development team who claim that there is no space in the server. Then the issue is assigned to infra support who claim that it is a code issue, but, since there is no clarity in the analysis, both teams suggest the operation team do a manual workaround on a daily basis. Application issue. The issue investigated by the support team to conclude that fix is required, but as per process, it has to follow the release calendar. So the operations team is assigned with some manual scripts to execute as a workaround. As we all know that a manual job is monkey job that is prone to errors, the production zone is always filled with escalations and constant firefighting. Because of this issues, it's always notice law, OLA, white box monitoring, performance monitoring, productive, innovative ideas, automation, new project involvement, no functionality knowledge. So based on this story, we should know the process importance. Processes are usually created for every type of work that a group of people does in an organization. But the effectiveness of that process requires review. The process should keep revisiting to adhere to people, technology and organizational culture. The behavioral changes in the organization measure the process. For any organization, the main goal would be on delivering a quality product. In the upcoming chapter, we will see about DevOps and how it will help the organization deliver the quality product.